So there are times when people choose the wilderness, right, to be formed and shaped and reflect. But then there's times where it seems like the wilderness chooses you. And how you respond in that moment also shapes you and I think steers you in a certain direction.
It's like it's inescapable. You are sent, called, driven, whatever, and you find yourself in the wilderness place. It chooses you. And as if God is involved in all of that, because God is involved. God knows right where you are, just what you need. He's with you.
Somebody showed me that in Joseph's story, he goes down 3 times. He goes down into the pit, he goes down to Egypt, he goes down into prison. They said that that's it's a way that writer is basically saying he's dying. And it reminds me that the wilderness is a place we die. Hopefully the best way, you know, this is the pattern of Jesus, that we're stripped of everything that makes us feel alive, and then God promises resurrection if we trust him. But over and over again in Joseph's life, it chooses him.
You've been reading the right books.
There you go.
So what do you mean when you say the wilderness chooses us?
I think there are times in your life where you pick your head up and realize, how did I get here? I don't want to be here. I didn't want 30 years ago. This isn't what I dreamt for my life. And now I find myself in a situation that I'm going to respond one way or another. Maybe fear will grip me and I will crumble underneath fear, or my faith will rise up and it will cause me to become a person I didn't think lived inside of me. And so in Joseph's story, you see him cast down and betrayed, but you watch his faithfulness, you watch his perseverance through that all, and he chooses courage, he chooses faith, he chooses obedience, and you look at the end of his life to see where he ends up, in a place of authority and influence and power through God's grace.
All that blessing flows through him then too. Everyone's blessed because of him, right? The whole nation of Egypt, his family.
Family is saved and rescued, blessed.
Which has got to be why the scriptures keep saying, rejoice when you suffer. Because it knows we're not going to, unless, you know, he prods us, he helps us, he reminds us. It's going to be okay. But who wants to jump into the valley of the shadow of death?
So then we find ourselves in the wilderness, sometimes not by choice. And so when we're there, it's how do we respond? And how do we rise up? And where do we let that take us? Because that's where we're going to find ourselves.